it feels so cold inside my heart tonight. Be my man is what she said. It's not just the wind that's moving around tonight, but quick and clean don't make it right.
Well, great news for us. Anthony's back from Poland.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate. We were out the bush and it's our first go out for 7 weeks videoing.
Team's back together.
We're thrilled to be out. I was thrilled to see Anthony. Now, when Anthony went away, it took him 2 weeks to prepare to go away, and then he was away for a month. And then when he got back, he had to recover from. This is what he had to recover from. Flew to Poland through a series of international flights. Had a week off to get himself ready for the wedding. Had the
2
wedding.
weeks off.
2 weeks off to get ready for the wedding. And then combined that with detecting in Poland, detecting for coins. She's put a very good video up. Check it out on our YouTube side of Anthony in Poland. There's a whole lot of interest in that.
Thanks, Glenn.
I really enjoyed it. I thought, no, this would be crap. But
Appreciate your honesty.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Anthony had a big time at the wedding.
Huge night.
Sent me a photo of him going home at sunrise, if you don't mind. And he admits to getting a bit dusty, getting a bit rowdy late in the night. He said, and this is Anthony's words, he said at one stage he was drinking Beaujolais out of a burgundy glass. That's how wiped out he got.
Oh God, not my words.
And then Anthony's 2 weeks honeymoon, then a week on the European beaches to get over the honeymoon, and then back here. So really pleased to be out, and this is what we're doing today. I'm glad you came with us because this is what we're doing today. We're in the middle of winter and the ground is as soft as anything. Now,
That's a good thing about winter.
This ground here, this particular gully is very rich. Was rich in the old days, and it's had a lot of detectors, and it's still rich. There's probably 200 pieces of gold in the length of this gully, and we're going to try and find a couple. How they worked it, they cut a big sluice drain right down the centre, and that's what this is. See, that's the bedrock there. That's been brought right back. That's clay and mudstone. Same up here, clay and mudstone. But they've cut it right through the centre, and then they've worked all the ground into the sluice drain, let the force of the water cart it away, and then cleaned up the gold. So this particular gully was worked towards the end of the 1860s. And this race tells us that it had to be because they needed a lot of water to work this way. And the only way they got to have a constant supply of water, they couldn't even do it if they built a dam up there because there's not enough catchment. They needed a water race. So they rang the water race off the commercial water race. They've been using water in here all the time. So they've scraped it and cleaned it all the way back. You'd think left nothing for us, but there are places like here where they've thrown the dirt out, and look how soft it is. That'll carry gold. This has been ground astern, and on the edges of the sluice drain where we're going to work, there's big heaps of dirt that they've thrown out. Here's another one down here. Whoops. Here's another one. See all this stone? That's been through the sluice race, and that'll have gold in it. I'm not talking big bits, but little bits. So with any luck at all, we'll get a few little bits. With real luck, we'll get a bit. We've got a whole lot of stuff we want to talk about later on, but we've bloody thrilled Anne and I to be back together and out the bush. Thanks to the people that said they wanted to see us out. Pumped our tyres up. So Ant,
that's it, we're back out.
Make a start. Now, I'll film you and you give us a bit of history.
Well, I'm back with Glenn, back in the Victorian Goldfields. Very happy to be back. First of all, before I forget, I do want to thank all of the well wishes and congratulations for the wedding. I really do appreciate it. I was surprised at how many people wished me well on the wedding. So thank you very much. It was such a great day. It was very memorable. As Glenn said, I sent him a photo, and as the sunrise was coming up, and we were just getting back to our room. So it was a really big night. Lots of food. We ate and ate and ate, and lots of drinks, lots of vodka, a few vodka shots and dancing. It was a really good night. So thank you very much for all your well wishes. Really do appreciate it. I'm a married man now. Haven't got the ring on at the moment because I don't want to get it dirty. But yeah,
He
it was
sent me
great.
he sent me another photo too of when he was on the beach, and I'm surprised that the sensor let it through. You don't want to see Ant. You don't want to see Ant on one of your more liberal European beaches.
Hey, it's Europe.
I tell you what, when he was bending over in that Mancini, it didn't leave much. So Ant, you went detecting over there?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to hook up with a bloke by the name of Pavel from Eiber Zvikrivačem na Magnesia. I've put up a video that I took while in Europe. Just put it up when I got back last week, and got a link in the description to his channel. Check it out. He finds some amazing stuff. It also goes with the magnet fishing as well. You know, yeah, as I was saying in the video, check it out if you haven't already seen it. But in Poland, it's a bit different to here in Australia. You can't just go detecting kind of wherever you want. There's no crown land. The government owns everything, and you need special permission to detect. The only places you can detect in Poland are the beaches, so you can freely detect on the beaches in Poland, up on the Baltic Sea in the north. But to go into a forest, it's illegal. So don't try that at home. Because you.
And if I go out in the forest, what happens to me?
Well, there's like the forest police type thing, or the city police that often will come. I've seen it a lot, and they'll check your paperwork. If you don't have it, you'll get a big fine, and there's also possible jail sentences as well. So don't recommend it.
Didn't you go out when you first got there without a permission?
No. I always have permission, Glenn. Always have permission. I only went out once with Pavel, and it was incredible. I mean, you know, I had the best time out there because I didn't know what I'd find. You know, Poland, World War I, World War II, it's been around for centuries. The Boratinka coin that I found is from the 17th century. You know, that my mind was blown when we found that. And those old rings as well. You know, it was incredible. And every signal, you know, didn't know what you were going to find. It could be a coin from, you know, between the wars. It could be a Nazi Germany coin. It could be, you know, a piece of military history. So there was obviously a lot of rubbish too. We found a lot of wire, a lot of, you know, crap, but that's fine. It's all part of it. And yeah, I look forward to getting back over to Poland and detecting over there again.
Good
but
on
for
you,
now,
mate.
gold.
We'll make a start here, mate.
Let's do it.
I reckon the women will be like when bloody Gomez Adams when Morticia speaks French. Every time you speak Polish, I think they'll be going, oh. Righto, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
We're in a good spot. And like I said, I know I'm filming you, but I'll talk over. I reckon there's about 200 bits of gold left here. There's got to be.
Fingers and toes. Let's hope.
Most of them are out of reach. We're going to make them into reach. So we haven't got the top line detectors. But if you take an inch of surface off, you jump over the blokes that can't reach down that far. So that's what we're going to do. So hopefully we turn something up. Right, all right, let's get into it.
Let's do it, mate.
Right, our Ant and I have split up. We're both on the same steep gully here. This is where the sluice race falls away, and they've worked it more as a gully. So they've used the water, but instead of working the dirt into the sluice race, they've done the reverse here. They've got in the gully, used the water, and thrown all the stones out. And somewhere, just there's a little signal. It's pretty small, so I'll only move a little bit at a time. Where'd you go, you bludger?
It's disappeared. Must be one of those rocks up there.
Don't tell me it was a hot rock. And no, it's just there.
Still there.
I thought I was going to be embarrassed then. Somewhere in there, on there, is a little bit of there.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Hang on a sec. There we go. Nice work, Glenn.
Yeah,
Gold.
when I shifted that bloody the stone and
Jeez, I thought it was going to be a hot rod.
yeah, I did too. I don't know. That's a scene for the bloopers.
Let's see how much it grows.
Well, there he is, and I think my eyes are bloody not focusing that well, but I reckon either just there
Yeah,
is another little one.
Oh, I think that's the same one, isn't it?
I hope it is, but it didn't sound like it. It'd be great if it is.
And
Can
I
see there.
that too.
Can you see that
it
little
looks
one?
Like,
Yeah.
a little bit.
So
Wow.
what's happened is that stone has been laying in the bottom of the gully. The water's come down, the gravel's stopped on him, left a few little tiny bits of gold in him when it's been wet. It's dried out. They've worked the gully, they've used their fork, thrown him up onto the stone heap, and fortunately he turned into a bit of gold and not an embarrassing bloody. Right, I'll move him off there. Yeah, he's obviously not real big because he disappeared pretty quick when he wasn't sitting upright. That's our first bit for the day. Thanks, mate. Did I pull it out or you just turned
I
me
just
off?
pulled it out.
Yeah. Whoop.
Oh,
That's not good. That's not good.
Oh, luckily we got metal detectors.
It is. That's not
Don't
good.
keep that rock because there's, I reckon,
Yeah,
there's more in it.
well, there's that little one,
Yep.
and there might be something more in there.
No, but that's definitely a bit. I have to plug you back in so we can find this little bit.
The one thing is, we've seen it.
Film your crutch like you did me.
No, that's right. No, some people might like that. We don't judge. I
That's
mean,
it.
after seeing those photos of you on the beach in Europe, you'd reckon when a bloke was on a topless beach in Europe, he would send you more photos of the background and less photos of himself, wouldn't you? I'm just saying. Well, there she is. Flew a fair way, didn't it?
Yeah, I
Did
thought
you-
it'd drop right down, but
You'd reckon, yeah. I thought now the people at home would be admiring this bloke chipping this neatly out of there.
long and behold, it just bloody blows away.
Got to be very careful with it.
More to the left. Yeah.
Shouldn't really be able to see him sitting up perhaps.
I think it's isn't that bit.
Beyond that little bit of red stone.
No.
I don't think he's big enough to get with the side, but I'll try.
You're right on him. Got him.
Got him, thankfully. Marvellous how big they sound with the booster and that on. There's the bit of host rock, is it? I know. There he is.
Yep. It came out. Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, he's only small.
Only small, but hey, first
He's
bit
a bit of
for the
gold.
day. There we go, focused in on him. Nice.
Little tiny fun, but it proves the point that there's golds in the throw-out pile because they're stuck to the stones, or because not only the other reason we're pulling the stones down, under here you've got the flanks of the gully, so you've got the original gully that they worked and pulled down. So up here on these points, there can be a bit of gold scum down the slope started to make its way into the gully and stopped. And that's the gold they were working on, and the gold in the bottom of the gully. So there could still be a bit lodged up here, a bigger bit, not that they haven't lost, that they've never found. Well, Ant, that's a relief to me and the viewers at home, because when I chipped me off there, I thought, oh, you rotten bludger.
Ah, well done, then. We're on the board.
Oh, and there's a little bit left in
That's it.
in there somewhere.
There he is.
See a little bit there.
What are you going to do with that one? Take him home and use the
Yeah, I
dolly
reckon
pot,
I'll put him in the dolly pot, otherwise
it's gonna be
I'm not
too
even
hard.
sure if that'll detect. That's one for the SDCs, I don't think.
Yep,
I mean, that's no different from a very soft hot rock.
exactly.
I'm going to sit him somewhere because I don't want to carry him
Stick
around
that in
the
your
bloody
skyrocket.
pocket around. Don't want to carry that stone in the pot all that.
Yeah, stick it over your beanie.
So, if you're out in the bush, you found an old bloke that's had a heart attack, have a look around for that beanie and stone. And search my pockets as well. Righto, Ant.
Good work,
There's the
Glenn.
first one, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you, Ant. When you get into gold and you do a bit of dishing, as most of us have, when you get into creeks, the thing you like are the bars, which are these raised stone that run across the creek, because the water comes down and traps it.
That's it.
When the old timers have worked this gully, they've been cleaning out between these two bars here. See all that? And they've worked that back. And then when they've cleaned it out to the bottom, they've thrown the gravel back in it, and that's what I've been working on. But just here, leading into it, they've left a lot of, or left some ground, because it's this yellow clay that's not carrying any stone, not carrying any gravel. They don't want to introduce that into their water, because all it does is pug up like that, and it's more likely to carry gold out of the race than help them. So they've left it. These coils, I thought the signal was about there, but I've been mucking around waiting for Ant. He's a bit tired from the European holiday.
Plus, Glenn, as Glenn does, we get to a spot and Glenn's like, oh, you start here and I'll just go down to where all the gold is.
It is a spot where I've got gold before, I will admit that.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
it's really up here. You know,
Yeah.
you think, see, that must be picking it up with the bottom of the coil.
Oh, yeah, it must be.
So it blanked out a little bit, but it does with these boosters. The one thing that I like about it is snug up against this bar
Yeah.
and in this yellow clay.
Natural sluice.
Yeah. So that's why hopefully he's still.
Yep, still in there.
So see how he's in the clay and on the stone. And as I said, this is like the sort of ground you'd be
Dishing.
dishing, yeah, you know. Ant's a champion disher. Ant's not like me, he tends to be modest, I tend to be the other way, but Ant's really, really good at dishing, so...
I haven't done it for a while.
no, because
do
once
enjoy it, though.
once you discover detectors, but I bloody used to love,
Yeah.
Tracy and I, my late wife Tracy and I, we used to love dishing, and I'd build sluice boxes, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
So he's
Very
gone in this
snug in
crack
there, yep.
and caught up on there.
Yep. Beautiful.
And you
ground.
can see that stone there and that stone there. And as I said, they shied away from the yellow clay. They had to work the yellow clay because but come on, mate, you got to come out of there. If I chop my finger off doing that, would we have a break or would we get...
Well, I'll get the gold nugget out first, and then I might help you.
Oh, there,
You can see it?
I reckon.
Oh yeah, I can see it too from here. Jesus.
Nice.
There he is.
Well done.
There he is.
Geez, your eyes aren't bad.
That's right. Hey,
Beautiful.
there he is.
Two.
And so you can imagine, flat bit of gold, the water's carting him down. He's come down with a flood. He's tried to make his way into the gully, but he's hit the yellow clay, slid it, come around with the water like that, slid in behind this bar. They've cleaned out between these two bars, but they've
left that for us.
shied away from the yellow clay and got a second for the day.
What do you reckon? How much? What are you gonna call it?
0.4?
I thought you were gonna get 0.7.
No, man.
0.4.
He's thin, you know, he's
Oh, thin but kind of thick. Oh, I reckon at least half a gram.
yeah, I hope so, yeah.
No, at least half a gram.
Yeah. I like more your full-figured gal. You know, I'm not.
True. Oh, very good, Glenn.
Well,
nice
man.
one.
Thanks,
Number
mate.
2.
That's number 2.
Oh, we could actually call that number 3.
How
Number
so?
3. Well, you got that little
Oh,
one
the
in the
little one
other rock,
up there on Mavuni, yeah.
Jesus, I got some catching up to do.
Oh, long day, mate. Long day.
See you on the next one,
Right
buddy.
out, into the canister.
That's it. Thumbs up.
Good on you.
Well done, mate.
Right. When Europe's Hugh Hefner was bloody spend his month on his European.
You're gonna give people the wrong impression of me, Glenn.
Anyhow, I came in here a couple of Saturdays and got a few small ones, and got a little one that we're going to give away, that we'll show you later. So keep that in mind. So if you thought about not watching anymore, keep watching. Anyhow, Ant's lucked onto a signal here. You know, it's not a powerful signal, but that's sort of what we like with gold. You know, you get a great big booming signal tucked away in the stones like this. It's unlikely to be a big bit of gold out here.
That's right.
So Ant's going to dig him. I'll get in a bit closer when he's not using his detector. And you can see the ground he's digging.
All in this rock and clay.
It's clay and siltstone, layers of siltstone, and makes a good natural trap for anything. They've washed this right back. They've washed and scraped this right back, and it makes whatever's left is. Whatever's left has gone into the crevices. I noticed
Careful.
when I was living my lonely lifestyle there, while you were away, Ant,
Yeah.
I read a lot of our comments, and I noticed there's a bit of bloody sly criticism of my camera work.
Well, I'm not sure if it was my camera work or yours, but
Oh yeah, I think
Somebody's
I got
happy.
a fair idea. Anyhow, sorry mate, I had to get on this side to see if I could make it easier to view.
oh, we're still in there.
Sorry mate.
Actually. Put that up there.
So there he is, looking like a bloody little pixie. Look at him.
The beanie on, it's still a bit fresh, but it's going to come off soon if we keep digging.
I wanted to bloody practice when you're in your video. The Polish bloke said something like, oh, I won't even attempt it.
Come on, Glenn, give it to us.
No,
Say it. Do
I
it.
practiced it. I practiced it for 2 or 3 days, and now I've bloody forgotten what it was. But it was, let's find some more. You know, he
yeah.
found a kind, and then he said, so what's that?
Jemedale.
Jemedale, and that's what
Jemedale.
I was going to surprise you and say,
Oh,
Jemedale.
you
Right,
Nice.
run over that. I reckon that should have him
got
out.
him out.
Still in there.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
And it's not up there, it's definitely in there. So that's good.
That is good. Well, this is looking good. I know I'm on your wrong side, mate, but I've got to get on this side because of the
That's
sun.
It's beautiful soil.
It is. It's bloody spot on.
This is what we want.
Just put my hand over to keep the sun out a little bit.
Yeah.
So this, I don't want to moz this man, but there's a big chance this will turn into something and into a little bit of gold.
There is. Oh, God. Heart's racing.
Yeah, that's good, mate.
Oh, it's out.
Oh, yeah.
There it is over this side.
When Ant was detecting in Europe, the bloke he was with said that if you found any live ammunition, you were best to leave it in the ground because it's a big thing with the authorities, and having live ammunition on you without a permit can get you up to 8 years in jail. So, you know, you think they're good-natured Polishmen, you judge them all off Ant. Now they are going to bloody throw you in the slammer for 8 years for having a 303 that you dug up. Right, the sun's gone behind the cloud, so it should be better.
Beautiful. Well, I got it in the hand.
That's good.
Right.
Shout out to Ads out and about. He follows us all the time, and this is sort of detection he does in these rough gullies. So Ads, we're bloody glad you follow us, and you're one of us, and we're the same as you. So
Cheers, Ads. Follow Paul as well. I must say I was very surprised to hear and read that, you know, a lot of our subscribers have Polish roots and all that. So it's very interesting.
yeah, it was
Very
so.
interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
we've been racist against all the other nations, and we've let the Poles bloody slide by. The Poles been so quietly infiltrating us.
Oh, I guess what, Glenn? It's a bit of gold.
Oh,
I
I'm
can see it.
Oh shit!
Oh, let's get this out of the way. Can you see it?
I got distracted. No, I can't see it, mate. You'll have to put your finger on. I can't see it.
Right there.
Oh,
Look
there
at
he
it.
is. There he is.
Beautiful.
Good work. Oh, they're bloody cunning, these poles, aren't they? They're just talking about one thing.
Oh, beautiful. Let's get this glove off.
Yeah, so to all the poles and all the nations in Australia, good on you. Well done. Well done.
That's it.
And if you're interested in gold and interested in us, even better still.
Oh, look at that. Hang on. That's what it looks like. And soon I'll give it a bit of a spit shine.
There it is.
Got
That's
him.
a bit of gold.
Very nice.
Good work, Ant.
That's a 1/2 gram.
Ant, you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Righto, he's called it early.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a good judge lately. Keep it down there, mate, because every time I put it up, the sun bloody blocks me out.
There we go. Look at that.
Good work, Ant. Gold in Poland? Is it gold, natural gold?
No, not really.
No.
They have one creek down in the south, kind of west of Poland. They get a bit of alluvial gold out there,
Yeah.
but no gold nuggets.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
So they're very jealous.
Another reason Australia's a lucky country.
Yeah.
Except for the bloody Poles coming over here.
Taking all the gold.
But
What do you
that was the
reckon?
thing.
What do you reckon? You reckon we'll get 1/2 gram out of it?
He's a nice little chubby fella.
He's chubby.
Yeah.
Be close. Close
Yeah,
to
be
1/2 gram.
close. Yeah, I seem to be stuck on 0.4 lately, but I'll go to 0.4.
0.4. All
All
right.
right, give us a thumbs up, mate. There he
Yeah,
is.
first bit of gold, we're back.
I sledged the poles now. No, good on you, folks. Good on you, Ant.
Cheers, buddy.
You're away, mate. What's
On
that
the
give us?
board.
3?
I'll call it 4. You got 3.
Oh, yeah, and the one little one.
That one little one, that's still a bit of gold.
It's just like to be still sitting there on my beanie this time next year because it's way up there in the bush. Righto, Ant. Good work, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good on you.
Nice.
Right, we've got a joint operation going on here. This quarry we've dug here in a little sluice drain. When there was a controlled burnout here one time, I detected this gully and I got a lot of little ones off the bottom. And the bloke that worked this gully, this was before he was working with a little dam, and this was before they got the water races in this area. So just after the first rust. And here's his hut. There's his stones, and there's plenty of signals here. And I got one right there, just sitting on the surface. I walked in, looked down, I got a signal, looked down, thought it'd be a bit of rubbish from the hut, and it was a bit of gold. So Ant and I have been working up here. Ant got a signal, lost it, or couldn't pick it up. Asked me to have a crack. I pulled some few more stones off, got it, then I lost it. So what's happening is it's going down in the rubble. They're placed back in the sluice drain when they want to get the stone out of their way. So it'll be a delicate operation because it's in real loose stone and it's real small. Righto, Ant?
So it's around there.
Yeah, and twice it's been a bigger signal than that, hasn't it? You know?
Yeah.
So
And it keeps just falling into all this.
see, it's going down in that rubble.
Give it a bit. Get it out.
we shyaked ant from wearing gloves, and then I was over there before, and there was a spider, a big black spider, and I'm not prone to exaggeration, as you know. But it was about as big as a dinner plate with legs. So. Righto, mate, you still got a signal there.
I'm hoping I've got it out now. No?
I reckon you have. I reckon you moved him back.
There.
So you're going to have to
There's
sort of...
nothing here.
No.
I'll get rid of all this.
And that was one of the frustrations of this area. Be careful, don't move too much. I reckon it was you pulled him back in there. Try.
You reckon?
That was one of the frustrations. I'm just playing along at home, man. That was one of the frustrations. There were bloody hot rocks, weren't there?
Yeah, there was.
They were
Heaps.
no less a signal than that, you know. So.
It's under here now.
Because when we first got here, Ant said, I got a signal here, and I come over, and then it just disappeared, and I suspected the first big rock he pulled out was the signal.
Yep.
This one we've had it up to where it's a definite signal. You know, it's been a metallic, a definite bit of metal, whether it's gold or a bit of rubbish.
There we go, that sounds better.
Yeah, that's definitely. So it's not far.
Pretty close.
Yeah, and I reckon going on past performance, the fact that it should be in that dirt because, you know, it's gone down the hole. Everything. That's all right, mate. I was looking over the top of the camera and I was filming the ground.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
I
I
can
know.
already see the comments coming. Alright. Surely that's got him in this little pile here.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. No. Actually, I think I moved it.
Oh, I can see him.
Yeah, I was going
Can
to
I
say,
see
I
him?
can see
Yeah.
it.
Good on you, Ant.
Oh, there we go.
Good on you,
There's a
mate.
little bit of gold. Look at that. Can you see it there?
Yeah,
Can you get on
hold
camera?
I'll get closer, yeah. I can see it. There he is. See
There
that?
we are.
Now we've chased that, and Ant's chased that from I reckon up here.
Yeah, it
And
was.
it's gone. Keep going in this. See this loose stone? Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
See that loose stone?
Oh,
But we've finally run him to
Can't
earth,
believe
and
it,
it's
look at
not
that.
a bad little bit either. Not a
happy
bad little bit.
days.
Good work, Ant.
Oh, can't believe we got it in the end.
Well, that's a joint venture because
Yes, well done.
Ant started him, and then I had a go, and then
That's a
Ant
50-50
got
split.
him out.
Look at that. A bit of a spit shine.
I'd got little ones out of this when it was burnt off. It was nice and clean as they are, and that's why we returned here. And also, I want to have a bit of a play around the hut
Look at that.
because I haven't really. That's it.
Beautiful. Oh,
Good on you,
love
mate.
that colour.
Good
Cheers,
on
buddy.
you.
Thank you.
Right, what's that saying
Nice one.
now? The Polish saying?
Jemmy Dally.
Jemedali!
Jemmy Dally.
Let's find some more. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that what it
yeah,
means loosely?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. Jemedali is like, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
But in like when we're talking about detecting, it's like on to the next one.
So Jemedali, folks.
Jemedali.
Good on you, mate. Good time. Ant got a bit of gold over there near the hut, and he had another little signal here.
Still digging it out here.
And while I was waiting for him to scratch around like an old chook,
Because it's not a race and I'm enjoying the digging.
No, I'm only saying scratch around like an old chook because it's a perfect segue to my next little bit here. I was raking around by the hut because when he got that signal, I was going to have a look for relics. So when I was
Look at
raking,
this.
I got this clay pipe,
Unbelievable.
and the reason I said like an old chook, it's got some sort of bird claw. See that there? It's got some sort of bird claw holding the bowl. Sorry,
Hang
mate,
on a
I'm
sec.
moving around.
Yeah, you keep it still. There we go. Got in focus now.
See, I don't know, it's a dragon claw,
Or a chook claw.
chook claw. Four, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 holding the bowl like that. And you can see sort of scales
Bit
here.
of intricate detail on it. Yeah,
And-
it's very nice.
There was what looks like JE, is it? Is that
Oh gosh.
so? Some sort of brand name, or whether it's a personalised one or not. So our man had been living here in the hut,
Smoking his pipe.
smoking his pipe, one day he's got a bit casual and broke the stem, discarded it outside, and because I was raking and not detecting, I just flicked him over. But he's a nice little relic, isn't he? He's got some bloody character.
Yeah, very
So
nice.
for our photo shoot at the end of the day, he'll go well.
Very well. Good job, Glenn.
Good on you, Ant.
Thumbs up.
I'm quite pleased with that.
What a
I
ripper.
know in England and that you find them all the time, but here in Australia,
Yeah.
we haven't got that long history
No.
of bloody.
And that's, well, I know you found one a couple of months ago, and that was the first one I'd ever seen in the Aussie
Oh, yeah,
Goldfields. I
yeah.
hadn't seen him before, so I was really impressed with it. So
Yeah, well, see,
another one come up.
the people come from other countries and they bring their stuff with them, of course.
Yeah.
You know, as you're a pipe smoker, you bring your pipes.
yeah,
And that's the reason, you know, when we refer to pipe clay, that white clay is what they moulded these pipes out of. That's why it's
Oh,
pipe
wow.
clay, you know,
Yeah.
so it's the clay they made the pipes out of.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
people pick these up on the Thames when they're mudlarking and that all the time.
Mm.
And we're bloody thrilled with it.
Yeah, good
So
job.
there he is.
That's awesome. Oh, thanks, man.
After 170 years, that bloke's cold sore would have got better, I imagine. All right, good on you, Ant.
Well done, buddy.
That's good. Ant and I are on our way back for Smoko to the car, and we've got to walk back because Parks Victoria have got what they call the gates locked because they don't want the four-wheel drives into the bush. So you can walk in, walkers can come in, and detectors can still come in, but you've got to carry your gear. So we're walking back for Smoko. I was in here while Ant was over in Europe getting married, and I was doing a little bit of prospecting to get away from the gullies, and I saw a wild cherry tree, and I was interested in the wild cherry tree because I could see from a distance it's what they call a rub tree. See how the bark's been rubbed off there? This is a wild cherry or a native cherry or Australian Christmas tree, all the same thing. And deer, they like to rub their antlers against it, takes the velvet off their antlers, toughens their antlers up, and they also use it to mark their territory. So you see the rub trees a bit where the deer aren't native to Australia. They've been introduced to Australia, but there's quite a few of them in the bush. So I was admiring this rub tree and having a look at it, and I turned around and realised I was on camera. Have a look at this. This is a camera trap. Hunters and people that are interested in wildlife, they'll put this out the bush. It's motion activated. There's a computer card in there. It'll be dormant, and then when the deer comes,
Hi.
yeah, so Ant's on camera. The deer comes, rubs his antlers on there, he's marking his territory, toughen up his horns, and this particular bark, the reason he likes that's very similar to Ant when he's using the emery board on his nails. That's the same purpose, and the reason they were called Australian Christmas trees is that when the Europeans got over in Australia and they become nostalgic, it was Christmas time, and there weren't pines native pines in Australia, they would use these as their Christmas tree. They'd get, obviously not a great whacker one like this, unless you were my Uncle John, that's the sort of tree he'd bring in his house. But they'd bring the smaller ones in, or a branch in, and you call them as Australian Christmas tree. So native cherry, wild cherry, Australian Christmas tree. Now the camera trap is interesting in itself. Each time I got a bit of gold, I called around here and went, hey! But it's been there for about 6 weeks, and I'm worried the bloke that owns it. I've
Forgotten where it is.
Yeah, for some reason it hasn't come back, but I'm thrilled it's still there. Parks Victoria, they put cameras in to catch things that they don't want going on in the bush. So if you're getting an illegal load of wood or going in detecting when you're not supposed to, what they do is they put a much smaller camera on that, they put it into a stump, and they have it so that when you drive past, going to get your load of wood,
Get your rego.
get your rego. When you come out an hour later with your load of wood on, you're the bloke. And what they do, the cunning bludgers, they put one little one in the stump, but then they put another one up the tree somewhere. So if you come along and you find this one, you think, geez, I'll knock that off. You've got another camera up there.
Yep.
So if you are in the bush, I thought it would have been funny if Anne had been with me the first day, if I'd seen it before I'd seen the tree. drag Ant by his heels across here. So when they retrieve the chip, all they see is me dragging a body bars. And yeah, so hunter or wildlife enthusiast, camera trap, you blokes that are hunters, you know all about them. I know nothing about them at all.
First time I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I was a bit surprised when I was looking at it, turned around and thought, shit, I'm on camera. Parks Victoria, just beware if you are dumping the neighbour's body. There are places where the camera is in the bush, so just be careful. And if you want to buy 2 cheap little cameras, I know where you can get them. Hello, Ant, it's Mogo time.
That's it, mate.